This 105 overall Giannis Antetokounmpo is the game time grandmaster, but can you get him nominee spent? And if you can, how much NBA cash is it going to take to do so? Well, we'll go through all of that a little bit later on, but let's start things off by actually going ahead and taking a look at how you can go ahead and get this master. And it starts off by taking a look at the game time event. As you'll notice, it's sort of split into two separate sections. You've got one set of events running along the top, and then you've also got these events, some of which are locked, running along the bottom. What you want to do starting things off is going ahead and playing through these events along the top. You'll notice each one is going to give you some monthly master emblems, which will be fairly useful if you are grinding for those monthly masters. Each one is also going to cost 20 NBA cash, rather than say a normal event in a regular promo, which is generally going to cost you some stamina here or there. So it is that NBA cash which is going to be required to go ahead and play through any of the events. Along the top, these ones are each going to give you 300 division points. That is the same through all of these events. In total, there are 12 for you to go ahead and play through, because of course there are 6 set of events. Each one has 2 events within it, so that is 12 events to play through, and they are on a 24-hour reset, meaning you can play through them every single day. Now, all of those division points which you're getting from those top events will then sort of accumulate bit by bit. You can see there is a progress bar going along the top saying you can get up to a maximum of 100,000 points. You won't need to do that if you are trying to get yourself the Grandmaster. I'll go on to all those calculations a little bit later, but with all of the points that you're getting from these events, you want to then go ahead and spend them on the events running along the bottom. Now, as you'll notice, each one is a different game, as it were. So this one is the San Antonio Spurs versus the Denver Nuggets. This one again is exactly the same stuff, just for the Denver Nuggets instead of the Spurs. Then we'll have the next event unlocking at those dates that are shown on screen, and every single one of these events can only be done once, and each one is going to require 14,400 division points. So that is of course the points you're getting from these top events, and it is going to give you in return 24 of these highlight tokens. That is going to be the same for every single one of these events. In total, there are 8 of these to go ahead and play through to give yourself plenty of opportunities to get yourself a ton of those highlight tokens, because that is essentially what's going to be required in order to go ahead and get yourself Giannis Antetokounmpo. If we take a look at the store, there are extra ways of getting these tokens, namely most of them are through spending your actual money in order to get them. You can see it goes up bit by bit in terms of how much it's going to cost, but then also how many highlight tokens you're going to be able to get. You can see 10, 20, 50, and then finally 100 tokens over there at the very end, costing the most amount of money. Those ones can all be bought a certain amount of times, as you'll notice by the sort of counter up at the top left. But there is a watch ad pack where you can watch an ad to get 2 highlight tokens. This can be done 7 times throughout the entirety of the promo. It can't be repeatedly done again and again. You can only do it 7 times in total, but it will give you 14 highlight tokens for absolutely free. All you got to do is watch an ad, press the X, get out the ad, and then you will get your 2 highlight tokens for that one ad pack. So that is something I definitely recommend you go ahead and do, because it is really easy to do and it is basically free getting those highlight tokens. If we look at the sets, this is where you're going to upgrade your Giannis Antetokounmpo bit by bit. You'll notice there are all these game time sets giving you different overalls of Giannis Antetokounmpo. The very first one is going to require 5 of those highlight tokens and 10 78 plus overall players. Now these players, as you'll notice at the bottom, can be past season players if you still got them on your lineup. Otherwise, you can get these guys on the auction house or through some of the trade up sets. It does say 78 plus. However, you'll notice the highest overall player I can put in is an 84 overall player. That might be a slight sort of maximum overall of player you can put in. Maybe it's between 78 up to 84 overall. That could be something in play, but it is just 10 of those players plus 5 highlight tokens, and that'll get you your very first Giannis Antetokounmpo card at 94 overall. Now this one is not giving out a boost, but as you upgrade him bit by bit, he will start to get that boost. So then you go on to the next set where you need to put in that 94 overall Giannis, and then you also need 10 highlight tokens, and then it's saying 8 80 plus overall players, but you can see the maximum overall I can put in is an 87 overall player, so that might be the maximum cap of players which you can put into that set, but it is only 8 of those. It's slightly more tokens, and of course you need to have that 94 Giannis in order to be able to put him into this set. Now I do get this question a lot when it comes to putting players in sets and all of that stuff. Say I went ahead and claimed up the 94 Giannis, I then went ahead and say stuck him into my team. He won't be able to be used in any of the sets. So make sure you're going through every single one of these lineups, whatever ones you've got on your device at the moment. Make sure you're going through all of those. Take out the Giannis Antetokounmpo card from all of those lineups so you can then go ahead and stick it back into the set. But that is how you can get that 97 overall Giannis, and this is where it starts to give out that boost, giving out that elite boardman boost to position over there. And then you got to 100 overall, similar stuff, different players needed 83 plus overall players. Again, the maximum might be 90 overall, or it could be a little bit higher, but obviously mine's only going up to 90 overall players. But you are going to need 15 highlight tokens with this set over here. Once you've got that 100 overall, you want to go ahead and stick him into this set where it's going to give you the 103 overall or Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now you can take a look at this card on the news tab over here. The 103 is giving out that +6 boost to position, whereas the 100 overall is giving out that +4 boost to team over there. All of them are going to give out that boardman boost, which is a fairly useful boost to have. This set is going to require 20 of those highlight tokens, and again 585 plus overall players, possibly going up to 93 overall players over there. And the very last set to get yourself that 105 overall Giannis style select, so that means you can get him in power, finesse, or strategic, and he is giving out that +6 boardman boost to team, which is going to be very useful to have at that power forward spot. You're going to need to get yourself A, the 103 overall Giannis Antetokounmpo, B, 50 highlight tokens, and then also 5 of those 87 plus overall players. Again, it might be 87 to 95. As you'll notice, 95 is the maximum I can put into this set, but that's all going to be needed to get yourself that 105 overall playstyle select Giannis Antetokounmpo. And of course, you've got plenty of time with this promo in order to try and get them. I don't know what's up with the timers at the moment. As you can see on the sets, it's saying 3 days and 21 hours. But if you go into the limited time event, you'll notice the actual time for the game time event is pretty much a month. So you've got ages in order to go ahead and play through all of the events, get enough points, get enough tokens, and then go all the way to get yourself Giannis. And now let's work out exactly what it's going to take to get that Antetokounmpo and how much NBA cash it's going to require. And we'll start off in the sets in terms of how many tokens you need to get yourself that Giannis Antetokounmpo. So starting off with this set, you're going to need 5 tokens, then you're going to need another 10 tokens, then 15 tokens. Then on this set, you're going to need 20 tokens, and finally, you're going to need 50 tokens for this set. In total, that is 100 tokens to go all the way and get yourself that 105 overall Giannis Antetokounmpo. Using that watch ad pack, you can get yourself a total of 14 tokens if you're watching 7 ads over there. Take that from the 100 tokens required, that's 86 tokens required from the events. And then through those events, if you play 4 of these game events at the bottom, so that is playing through any 4 of the ones along the bottom, that will give you enough tokens to get yourself Giannis. So 4 of those events times the 14,400 points means you need to get yourself 57,600 points in total, which is playing through 192 of these top events, each one giving out 300 of those division points, and each one is going to cost 20 NBA cash. So that means you need to spend yourself a total of 3,840 NBA cash in order to get yourself Antetokounmpo. That is doable as a nominally spent player. You might have that lying around at the moment. You can see I'm slightly below that at 2,000 NBA cash. But as I said earlier, you have got a whole month in order to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can get NBA cash just by simply doing your daily objectives. You get a good amount from there, and your weekly objectives as well is going to get you a decent amount. You get some from the live pass, some from the monthly master stuff, which is definitely going to be useful. So it is definitely doable to get yourself Giannis Antetokounmpo as a nominally spent player. We saw the exact same thing with Jimmy Butler, and you can see on my team, I managed to get him as a nominally spent player, spending through my NBA cash. Make sure you've got enough NBA cash though, because you don't want to fall a little bit short of being able to get him and not have a way of getting him after spending through a ton of NBA cash. So make sure you work that out for yourself. Again, that's 3,840 NBA cash in order to get yourself the 105 overall Antetokounmpo, as well as using those ads in the store itself. Let me know in the comment section down below whether you're going to try and get him or not. And if you want to go check out this insane franchise team builder we did in NBA Live Mobile, we spun the wheel to see what teams our players would come from. Go check out the video in the bottom left hand corner, and I'll see you guys in that one. Peace.